Happy Tuesday, y'all. Welcome to A Daddy Story. On this podcast, we talk a little bit about the good, bad, and sometimes the ugly. And it is what it is, and real is real, and what you're going to get is real. Today, we're going to have a special guest, Shannon Beard. Shannon is a friend of mine, and Shannon does personal fitness and tumbling at a local gym here in Lubbock. Her family is actually ag people. She grew up agriculture. She grew up stock showing, raising cattle. Her mom and dad with her and her brother. She's going to share a little bit of information today about her and her life and her story and where she's at and how she got there. And probably going to be a little lengthy interview today, so could be two parts. Hope you enjoy my conversation with Shannon Beard today. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Welcome to A Daddy Story. We have somebody here today that's going to share her story and a little bit about her life, and her name's Shannon. And she has a past in the stock show industry, and she's a personal trainer, and I'm going to listen to her story and just talk a little bit about life. Shannon, you want to tell us about yourself?
I grew up on a farm ranch 25 miles outside of, honestly, probably 22 miles outside of Floydada, outside of McCoy community. And we stock showed. My dad raised steers and livestock judged. And that was our life. I was fortunate to grow up in a Christian home with being taught faith throughout my life, and it's definitely been a saving grace for me. But you mentioned the stock shows, such a huge part of my life and memories, and really looking back, the best days of my life, stock showing and livestock judging, and just being in that environment, community. 4-H, we were big 4-H, so that was huge in our life.
You have brothers and sisters?
I had a brother. He passed away 2.5, almost 3 years ago, but he also livestock judge at Texas A&M, and again, that was our life. So
you pretty much, both of you grew up together, involved with ag industry and stock showing, living in the country and showing and working.
Work for sure.
What's some fun times that you can remember of your stock show days, your youth days?
Well, stock shows were our vacation. That was, we didn't vacation. Dad always said stock shows were the vacation. We went hitting the big stock shows, San Antonio, Houston. Usually we went to Fort Worth some, but definitely San Antonio and Houston. And I remember in my third grade year, my first year at a stock show, I made the front page of the Amarillo News. I'm pulling a show steer, little bitty kid, and I remember how proud Dad was and of that moment. And I mean, everybody wants their dad to be proud of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. But again, loved every minute of it. I will say my brother probably did a little more work than I did. I was pretty social and liked visiting all the barns. Dad never understood why I visited the pig and sheep barns. He said I didn't belong there. We were cattlemen, but just meeting people, but it gave me the skill set to do what I do now, being able to talk to people, interact, and of course, livestock judging, being able to give reasons, and just the discipline and work ethic because we did all of our own work, and Dad took great pride in the fact that we did our own work, walked them every day, bathed them when it was snowing, make their hair thicker, all the stuff. We didn't have the fancy barns with the air conditioning and all of that, but but we could compete, and we did well. It was, again, best memories of my life growing up.
Lots of life lessons and lots of hard work on learning how to work.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I work ethic. So grateful. And we live in a time that a lot of kids don't have that opportunity. And actually, until I moved into town, when I left home at 18, I didn't realize the gift I was given growing up, working and driving tractor and all the lessons, problem solving. I would say that was probably the best. The best lessons of my life, just learning how to problem solve and think through. I mean, I had one brother and my mom and my dad, and we did it. We did it on our own. And if you were out 2 miles away from the house farming and something went wrong, you figured it out or walked home and asked for help. But yeah, great. And all the problem solving skills, forever grateful.
Yeah, it really pays the way for, especially later in life. When you're young, you don't realize it. Then you become adults and start dealing with real, true adversity later on in life with kids and marriages and careers and just general life stuff. Then all those scenarios and situations you learned when you were a young child kick in, and you actually have the mindset to address and attack and face those things without coping the not so good way.
I wish I could say that was always the case, but yeah.
How did you get into fitness? And what's your gig now? I guess you're way past the stock show days and all of that good stuff. So what's your day job, I guess, and what's your full-time gig now as an adult?
So, when I was 5 years old, I watched the first Olympics, and Olga Korbut was in that Olympics, and I remember watching that, and I'm going to do that one day. And with growing up and all the work ethic and entrepreneurship, when you grow up on a farm, for me and my family, we were always, either selling things out of the garden, selling steers. I remember helping Dad walking around and talking to people about our steers from really when we started stock showing. And when I was 15, I started my own business, tumbling in Matador, started my own program there. I got some tumbling mats for my birthday to start my business, and I went there one day a week teaching tumbling. And my sophomore year, I asked for a weight bench for Christmas. My dad frowned upon that, but I got one, and that tumbling just tied in with fitness, and got my first personal training certification at 18, and game on. Ever since. So,
Have you pretty much worked around here in the Lubbock area, or this is pretty much where you've been? You been anywhere else, or is this pretty much home, I guess?
Definitely pretty much home. I've had stints in, I was in Dallas for a few years, and when I was married, I was in Memphis, Tennessee for a few years, Longview for a few years. Actually was in Phoenix for a few years, personal training, after my divorce. But looking back through all of that, the problem solving skills and the work ethic have always pulled me out, allowed me to get out and about and start a business and be involved or get a job. I've never been fearful of going and asking for a job or giving reasons as to why they needed to hire me. We're taught that in livestock judging. So
That's the thing about livestock judging is I enjoyed my days of it too. And pretty much anytime you go talk to somebody, doesn't matter what you're talking them about, you're still giving reasons. It may not be a cattle, it may not be about pigs and sheep and goats, but you're given reasons. You don't realize it, but you are.
Absolutely. I feel like my parents didn't realize what they were encouraging though, because I was really good at giving reasons as to why I shouldn't be in trouble or should be able to do something. I mean, they trained me up. That 4-H trained me up and being able to talk my way into and out of a lot. So,
Yep, the tools with all projects, there's so many, from livestock to, fashion to now we've got quiz bowls and skillathons and interview processes. And I mean, there's so much across the board other than large projects, which is really good for all these kids these days. And it's really sad that we don't have more kids involved in this stuff in the schools than what we do, because we're missing that in life big time.
Absolutely. Well, and I was on 4-H Council, National 4-H Council, and all the state competitions. And I mean, really unbelievable how much it prepared me for me to be successful throughout. I was a makeup artist, a national makeup artist, and freelance doing that, and pretty much just walked in and told them why they should hire me. And again, Game On started that, and I was successful at that. Been blessed. I mean, God has allowed for a lot of great things, and I'm very blessed.
Confidence is huge when you're talking about yourself or selling yourself, and that's one thing. Confidence, you gain confidence by, good family time with your mom and dad at home, and those kind of activities, and confidence in what you did growing up. Whether you learn confidence physically or mentally, it transcribes into a verbal process. And the more confident you are, the more secure you feel. Generally, the more secure you feel, the better chances you are at succeeding in anything you set your mind out to. Just like you said, the confidence in, selling yourself to these people. And if it wasn't for your upbringing and background, it'd probably been a lot harder ways to learn confidence.
Agree.
Especially
Absolutely.
As a woman, and especially as a young child, as a girl.
Yeah.
Confidence is huge as women, as you know. I mean,
Yeah.
confidence is the big thing for all girls at all ages.
Absolutely. And it's a huge struggle to coaching tumbling. I've coached tumbling, well, like I said, I started at 15 and I'm almost 58, so a long time. I will say there were a few stints in that time frame that I didn't work with kids, but I've worked with a lot of kids and girls and confidence, and it's a struggle. I mean, the world that we live in is all about appearance and how you present yourself, and looking back, that you can look good on the outside but be wrecked on the inside. And in 4-H, though, you were taught, especially livestock judging, didn't matter what was going on inside, present your information well. And if you speak that with confidence, they hear you and believe you. So that's carried me through a lot. Absolutely.
So since you're doing other sports, tumbling and training people and kids and stuff, overall, your assumption, what do you feel kids would get more out of, especially learning life lessons, confidence, and skills? Would they get more of that out of sports, or would they get more out of that of being involved with 4-H and FFA and livestock projects and being around mom and dad both?
Oh, goodness. I'm going to make some enemies right here. No, I'll be honest. I wasn't in team sports. We did our stock show thing, and tumbling is more of an individual sport. And so I think team sports are great. I really wish I would have had the opportunity at times to do that. But I personally have found that relying on others is sort of difficult, and them relying on me is sort of difficult. So the individual things have always been my strong suit, I guess. But I do see a lot of benefits that come from from the team sports and learning how to get along and be part of a team. But had I not had the individual accountability and having to do it right the first time and get her done, to do all of those things, I wouldn't be here today. I think now at my age and where I'm at, learning to surround myself with people that can fill in the holes that aren't my strong suit. That is that's an ongoing thing that I'm learning, that I can't do it all by myself. But I'm super thankful for knowing that, you know, which now they say, don't say pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and like that's sort of looked down upon, but I'm grateful that I was taught, get up, keep going, do it right the first time, and if you fall down, get up and get back on the horse. So very thankful for that mindset growing up. Absolutely.
And even stock showing, and even you know, with horse projects and rodeo and any of that stuff, it's generally yourself, as you said. I mean, you still have your animal that you work with, and you still have your dad and mom in the barn, your dad and mom on the rail, or dad and mom over at the horse trailer. You still have a team. It's just you don't necessarily have the full team.
That's absolutely
as like
true.
if you were on a basketball team or volleyball team. There are other projects and stuff, you know, involved with 4-H and FFA that are a team sport. As my daughter was involved with Does Zazzle, meets judging, horse quiz bowl. They all had a team. Livestock judging, they were all on a team, but they also competed individually.
Right.
And I think you get a good balance with all of that, because team sports is great and you got to learn to work together as a team. But if you have individualism taught to you at a young age, number one, at the end of the day, when something breaks down, who's going to take care of whatever problem issue? It's going to be the person in the mirror.
Absolutely.
And individualism in sports is huge, because individualism helps you develop as a leader. It develops leaders that we have in our government and our country and our schools, and even in our local 4-H and FFA communities, and even our sports team.
Absolutely.
And leadership is huge, learning leadership. And it's just a great program to go around. I'm fortunate enough to be involved as I was. I wish I could have done a lot more when I was younger, but I'm thankful for what I did get to do.
Well, and I will say also, since we lived so far out, I just didn't have the opportunities to be involved. I mean, we were, the four of us, making it work on a farming and breeding cattle and raising cattle and showing steers. And so we just had a full plate. It wasn't a lot of time. So not taken away from all the people. Now that my business is in Premier Sportsplex, I definitely see all the team and all the teams playing all the sports, and the benefit of that. But at the end of the day, if I hadn't been taught how to make it happen myself, I wouldn't be here. So grateful for that.
I guess y'all rode a school bus quite a bit back in your day.
We were the first one to get on and the last one to get off. Like getting on at 6:50. My poor bus driver, golly, he had to wait for me every day. Bless his heart, would sit out there and wait for me to come out to the bus.
You got to learn to be first and last at such a young age.
First and last, and that hour and a half. I don't even remember how long. 6:15, and I think we got there at 8, something like that, and got off the bus at 5:30. So long days on the bus.
I was similar. We had a drive and a transitions when I was growing up too, and some days I hated it, but some days it's what it was.
Hey, that's where we got because we had to work once we get off the bus, so that's where we got our homework done. So
yeah, got to do homework and talk with friends and whatever else, and get in trouble on the school bus.
Yes, absolutely.
So your career now in health and wellness, does it fulfill you pretty much?
You know,
every day you get to go to work and enjoy what you do, and also get to fulfill your purpose too with helping others. Every day,
such a joy. I am so blessed to I always say when I left the farm, I retired and got to start life, and I am so blessed. I work with 3-year-olds all the way up to 93-year-olds. So either tumbling or fitness. I work with seniors that have been through surgeries and never even thought they had the abilities to do what they do. And I really sort of specialize in movement and mobility and then also encouragement, encouraging people that you can get better. And even if it's 5% strength, which I feel like most people do even better than that. But yeah, absolutely. Just so fortunate. And I work with kids, really all ages, all stages. I've worked with kids, nonverbal, autism, where parents are just mind blown at their abilities and I think that all stems back to me working with animals and being able, watching movement, watching how to interact with animals and train them and teach them and, break them when you break them and halter break them and teach them to walk and all of that. You learn to watch movement. I mean, to get out of the way, if nothing else, not to get kicked or to run up the fence fast enough. So, yeah, but I feel like all of those lessons I learned, I use daily and applying those to helping people get stronger, better mobility and confidence just in life in general. So absolutely.
What's your biggest clientele, youth or older people? Or you get a balance of all?
I really do have a balance. I'm very fortunate. I have a balance. I teach tumbling about half the time, and then I do have seniors, but then I have people midlife, and so very, very blessed to be balanced in all of it. But I did develop a senior mobility, strength, flexibility class that over COVID, when we were all locked in our houses, I had to figure something out, do something. So developed that class and have got to see that thrive and make a difference in a lot of people's lives. And that's, again, just blessed to be able to help others and serve. I've always enjoyed serving others and seeing them grow, and that's what I get to do every day.
That's pretty creative thinking. With COVID, we had a lot of not so good thinking and a lot of what not to do. We've all had to endure the hard way, but there's also some good positive creative thinking scenarios that come out of COVID, and yours is one of them.
Yeah. I'll tell you that was a huge fear, being shut down and locked in. If you're used to being outside and working and hands-on with people, or I was pretty scared, but I had a fitness ball and some resistance pull-up bands and was able to develop a whole class that, again, I get to watch it make difference in people's lives daily. So
nice.
So, awesome. Yeah.
Are you the only one at Premier Sportsplex, right?
Right. Premier is pretty cool in the fact that if you're a trainer, they allow you to have your own business. And
really?
So there's a few of us there that, I mean, it's different as far as a lot of trainers, the business feeds on their clientele, where if you have your own business, you're building your own clientele. Fortunately, with my tumbling, I've got 2 businesses, so I get to tumble and coach that and then personal train, and it's just a win-win. I splits up my day, gives me different things to focus on, and I carry the tumbling over into the fitness as far as strength and flexibility, and then the conditioning into the tumbling to make them stronger tumblers. So it works together well.
Cool. How would you ever thought when you were 8, 9, 10, 12 years old, tugging on show steers and fitting show steers and watching show steers, that you'd be doing this one day?
Probably not. Although, again, when I was 5, I said I would do this one day. I said, this is what I'm going to do that. And pretty strong-willed child. So I always had a passion for it. And
That come from your dad or your mom?
dad, yeah, my dad, for sure. The strong-willed, maybe mom, the strong-willed. I don't know, both of them. But definitely dad, as far as get things done, I mean, I was raised that God gives you gifts, and I recognized early on that my gift was serving others and helping others. I've always been, the one that sought out the underdog, wanted to help them get better, and
Yep.
so been fortunate to make a business out of that.
And that's awesome, learning that and seeing that at a younger age, because most people don't realize that until they get older and most of their life is gone and they wasted a lot of opportunity and being in places they weren't really happy with.
Yeah,
And once you find, as I've learned, is once you find your purpose, it's like the light switch come on and just your whole mindset changes,
right.
and here you go. Just this is one of those things.
Yeah,
And it's pretty awesome waking up every day, going to do what you love to do, and feeding your purpose.
absolutely is. And don't let me misrepresent myself. Definitely been through a lot. But again, I was raised with faith in God, and that has carried me through. Looking back, I can see God's hand on my life throughout my life. I might not have realized it, but looking back, when you get older, I tell my kids that when you get older and you look back, you see it. You see where He's there and carried you through. So super blessed to have the opportunity to look back, because I for sure made some bad decisions, and then others have done some bad things, and carry on and pull yourself up and keep on. So,
Well, you learn and you grow yourself, and if you don't move on, then obviously you're going to stay where you're at.
yeah,
And that's really not a healthy place. And most people have the desire to move on, will move forward and get past that and a lot of those struggles. And I don't think anybody really complacently wants to just sit in their mess. I think a lot of people just don't realize where they're at. They have troubles changing their glasses. They have troubles looking at things in a different way, or actually getting out of their own selfishness, obsessed bullshit that it's all about them. And I've been there. I'm not saying something that I haven't done myself, but
absolutely.
I choose to get up every day and be the person that I want to be. I choose to be, and I want to satisfy the inner child, and dang sure want to satisfy the Lord,
Absolutely.
and try to live as best I can to His will that day. And at the end of the day, be thankful, and then do it again the next day, and enjoy what we do have and the fruit that we do have in life. Because a lot of things that we see that we want, or we're not where we're at or we should be, especially our age, getting older, you think, well, this isn't where I wanted to be at this age, or this isn't the career I thought I'd be. I never dreamed I would be. And my kids would be in split homes, and I would be in my situation, my story. I mean, there's a lot of that, but your life is what you make of it, and your life is what it is. But you're in charge of writing that chapter and writing that book. And every night when you go to bed, that's one page that's finished. You get to wake up the next day and start a new page and keep writing. And all we have is right now. So it's a matter of just writing that book.
Absolutely. I always say you're either learning and growing, or you're dying. And if you're sitting in that, and again, I've sat in it. Don't let me misrepresent myself. I have sat in it, and was fortunate to start counseling when I was 48 years old, and dealt with some of the things that were, when we grew up, people didn't discuss things. Everything was swept under the rug, and I don't know that dismissed is the word, but a lot of lack of accountability all the way around with myself and others around me. And it was great to go through being able to discuss and learn from your mistakes and process them more than anything. Mm-hmm. Think back and talk through them. I was taught that, and just talking through it doesn't even have to be always a counselor. Just talking through it and getting it out in the light instead of leaving it in the dark is huge. That allows growth. If it's buried and in the dark, then you live in the dark. And putting it out there gives you freedom to get up and do something with that, and then also opens doors and opportunities to share how you got through that and your struggles. And I get to do that daily, along with teaching tumbling and fitness, encourage others with my story, overcome, and again, I'm blessed. Not that I've had a perfect. All's been great. I'm just fortunate to look back and be able to appreciate all those experiences and know that those scars are really where I came from and who I am, but they don't define me. I had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone.